Well, it's Thursday, and you all know what that means. As you probably know, we have Ring of Honor, of course, featuring many matches, of course. We have matches where, of course, people want to pursue championships and all that. But the main event, of course, features a bit of a rematch between the bounty hunter, Brian Keith, and, of course, the most wanted, of course, Bandito. So the real question is, does Lightning strike twice, or will, of course, the bounty hunter collect? Well, that's something we'll just have to wait and see. And then we move on finally with our last review, TNA, featuring many matches, of course. We have the TNA World Tag Team belts on the line, of course. The Hardys defends against, of course, the Dumb Hands, members of the Order of Four. This was, of course, a match that was set up by Mustafa Ali through Daria Rae, so we'll see how things will go. And as we continue with more of first round matches for the Knockouts television title, so that is something we're definitely going to see who's going to advance. And then, of course, the main event features, of course, the rematch in a no disqualification for the TNA Knockouts World title. Li Ying Li has cashed in her consensual rematch clause, facing her former tag runner and friend, Xia Brookside. The real question is, will Xia Brookside retain the belt, or will, of course, Li Ying Li reclaim the belt for a third time? So we'll see how that plays out, too. And then, as always, we wrap up our episode, as usual, with some news updates, giving you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready with another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We'll, of course, do some more real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, do the Nagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us and click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough of the jibber jabbers. Let's get started. So let's begin with Ring of Honor. Alrighty then, so let's begin with Ring of Honor. We opened up with tag team action. We got the Grizzled Young Vets, of course, Zach Gibson and James Drake, taking on the Bang Bang Gang, consisting of Ace Austin and Juice Robinson. Now, as you all know, the Bang Bang Gang are in full force with the not only return of the Guns, Colton and Austin, but also, of course, the Switchblade, Jay White. So I think the match was pretty good. So it does determine to see how all these teams will be determined to build motivation in hopes for a future Ring of Honor World Tag Team belts. And that's exactly what we expected. Now, of course, we were expecting some tricks and stuff coming from GYV, but however, it was Ace Austin with the fold onto James Drake, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, adios, it was over. Next up, we have, of course, the Frat House, consistent of Preston Vance, Griff Garrison and what's his name? Oh yeah, Jack Jamison. They take on Skyflight, consisting of Dante and Darius Martin of Top Flight, along with Scorpio Sky. And I thought the match was pretty good. But of course, we know that um, there was going to be some high flying spots coming from Top Flight as always. But in the end, it was of course Scorpio Sky with the TKO onto Preston Vance, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, Leo Rush, of course, continues with his little vignettes going cuts, cuts, cuts. I don't know exactly what that means, but yeah, seems like something is going on there, but I just don't know. But of course, it's fine. Anyway, let's keep moving on. Now, our next match, we have, of course, Bishop Khan in the ring taking a guy named Royce Isaacs. Many of you know Royce Isaacs as member of the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Uh, it's been a while since I've seen him, of course. I know I've seen him in the Independents, not going to lie about that. But it was a pretty good match of Die Hard. But however, it was Bishop Khan to put him away with the pedigree. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. Now we have, of course, Mina Shirakawa and, of course, Queen Aminata teaming up. They take on Casey Lennox and, what's her name? Sahara 7. It was a pretty good match. Now I knew that that both Aminata and Mina will get along great. I mean, they both did competed in the Casino Gauntlet, but none of them survived, won that match anyway, even though they didn't lose either way. But it was a pretty impressive match. It was Mina who walked away with the win with the figure 4. Onto forgot who it was, but yes, it was over just like that. Now, we did see, of course, Caprice Coleman doing his interview, the chops or something, on with Action Andretti. So the real question he wanted to know, like, how is he doing after the whole thing with Leo Rush? And he was telling him, look, you two seems like you guys were on the right page. You guys were building up momentum. He said he doesn't know what really happened. He even tried to talk to him. He said he was fine when you last saw him, but everything turned. But, of course, no phone calls. He doesn't even know exactly what was happening. But Caprice Coleman was thinking maybe there's a reason why. Maybe he thinks that you are on a different level of what he was aiming for, the way he did. And maybe, of course, Andretti kind of agreed with them. So we'll see where that leads between those two, because it wouldn't be surprising if Action Andretti will have his one-on-one match against Leo Rush for the Ring of Honor World Television title. Now, our next match, we have the Colognes, Eddie and Orlando. They team up with, of course, their fellow Boricua man, Serpentico, to take on Lethal Twist. Now, obviously, we know that Lethal Twist are playing dirty. We know that both teams are aiming for the ROH World 6-man tag team belts, which is obvious, is what we expected. But the one thing I did not like is, of course, Lee Johnson removing the mask from Serpentico, of course, just pulled it out and then rolled them up, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. Now, if I was Dalton Castle and the Outrunners, I would keep an eye on this team, because I'm sure there are those who will want to aim for them. So we'll see about that. Now, we do have a match involving the Pure Wrestling Rules. Mance Warner, who out of nowhere requested this match against Matt Menard. So basically, he was telling everybody what's the rules. So he kind of tried to bring in like his own style, but it didn't work. But he was able to defeat Matt Menard by applying the DDT, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. So he picked up the win. Now, our next match, we have Kelsey Reagan taking on Isla Dawn, who we haven't seen for quite some time. But man, Isla Dawn really put her away when she applied, of course, the Dragon Sleeper, and just like that, she tapped out. However, she wanted to punish her even further, of course, during the post-match, but that's how it went down. Next up, we have Satnam Singh taking on Bruce Hamilton. Well, I don't need to tell you how this ends. He took him out with the choke slam. 1, 2, 3. Adios. Now, before our next match, of course, we have these guys named the Il Carletto Grillo, consisting of 3 guys. They, in fact, did a little interview sending a message to the locker room, but they had to team up with Nathan Cruz to take on the combined forces of the Rascals with Zachary Wentz and Desmond Miles. Well, they teamed up with, of course, the good old boys from Texas, the Von Erichs, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. And I thought the match was pretty good. But however, it was Zack that picked up the win onto Hayden, a member of the uh, Carletto Grillo, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Then we have, of course, LSG taking on Tehuti Miles. We haven't seen him for quite some time, but yes, he was there. The match was over with pinfall. I mean, I still haven't picked up much about Tehuti that much, but yes. But the main event, of course, is the ROH World Championship. Brian Keith and Bandito. Now, they have faced off before for this title, but um, it was Bandito the one. But the real question is, how much will, of course, Brian Keith will learn from his last mistake with them? Well, he did try to pick up the win, uh, but however, he tried to cheat his way through by using a fork. It failed the first time by Aubrey catching him. Then he had another one, but it failed also. But however, it was a Hurricanrana by Bandito that picked up the win and defeating the Bounty Hunter. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. So I think it was a pretty good show. So I think we're ready to build up the road to Death Before Dishonor. So we'll see how things go from there. But for right now, we are done with Ring of Honor. Let's move on, of course, with TNA. Okay, TNA. So we opened up with the TNA World Tag Team titles on the line. The Hardys defend them against the Dumbhands, Jason Hotch and John Skyler. Now remember, a week ago, of course, Mustafa Ali was dissatisfied with the fact during Slammiversary that the Good Hands did not win the tag belts. So he asked Daria Rae if they can set up this match, which of course he did. So basically, that was the whole point. So the idea is for the Good Hands attempt to, of course, to gain these belts. But unfortunately, it didn't do any well for them because they were taken out by the Hardys thanks to Jeff's Swanton Bomb onto John Skyler. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. And of course, during the post-match, Mustafa Ali along with Agent Zero, he was dissatisfied that the things did not go well, and of course, that the fact they lost. So I don't know what's going to happen from there. Now, of course, we had Gia Miller conduct an interview with Ling Yingling, informing her about the main event, how this is a no disqualification match, basically a do or die. But of course, Li Yingling decided to put aside what she had feelings towards Zaya Brookside and to focus in hopes of winning the match, and that's exactly what she intends to do. Now we do go on to the King's Speech by Frankie Kazarian, bringing out Moose and all that. And of course, Frankie Kazarian decided to stir the pot by talking about Moose's kid, about what happened in Slammiversary, but Moose wasn't, in fact, wants to talk about that. But he was telling Frankie Kazarian that he was a pillar just like him, basically from two different eras. And of course, Moose said that they never had a match against each other, but Frankie declined until AJ Francis showed up, and of course, saying that, oh, the reason you left Moose, the NFL, was because you were afraid of me. And of course, Moose is laughing at him because he knows from this arrogant look that's what it was. So he issued a challenge against him, and of course, Express Shen accepted on his behalf. Now it seems with Elijah, of course, now he can walk the highway wherever he's going to go. Now he's aiming for the TNA World Title. So the real question is, when is that going to happen? I'm sure many fans would love to see that. Now our next match is the first round matches of the TNA Knockouts TV Championship Tournament. We have Vicky Venuto taking on Indy Hartwell. Don't know much about Vicky Venuto, but Indy Hartwell, well, we all know who she is. We all know her reputation. And of course, this was going to fall in her favor because she actually won the match by applying her donut. So that's how it goes down. Now, we did see a bit of a video vignette from Fabian Achner talk about his past, what he was attempting to do and all that. And now, of course, is aimed for the TNA X Division title. So exactly, we don't know what the initial plan he's going to try to do, but all we know, that's his goal right there. Our next match, we have a bit of a three-way tag team match. We have The Righteous, Dutch and Vincent versus The System, Brian Myers and, of course, Bear Bronson versus Ricky Souza and, of course, Leon Slater. Now, if you guys remember, The Righteous and The System were attempting to recruit Ricky Sosa to join one of them, but of course Ricky Sosa had no choice. But thank God that he had Leon Slater by his side, keep having his back, and that's exactly what happened. Of course, we would have assumed the system would have cheated their way through, but no, it was of course an uppercut by Sosa onto Bronson, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, Slater and Sosa won. So the real question is, where do these two men go from here? We know that Leon Slater is determined to win the TNA World title, so we'll see where that goes from there too. Now, Santino Morello was having a bit of fun with Daria Rae, who was not in the mood, and of course, Ryan Menes is a little bit concerned over the post-match, the promo with Casey Navarro talking, basically feeling that Casey Navarro is going to insult his family, and of course, Daria Rae told him that you got the right to defend your family, so that sort of thing. Now, we do have another first round match of the Knockouts television title, of course, tournament. We have Gabby Forza versus Jody Threat, who we haven't seen for quite some time, but it's great to see her. Gabby Forza, I heard of her down the Independence. She's good, but of course, Jody Threat is someone we know too well. She was able to pick up the win with the pop shove it, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she's in it. So we'll see what happens in the next round. Now we go into backstage. Mustafa Ali seems like he was getting dressed, but he was talking to someone about, of course, saying the changes. I don't know if this means that something is going to happen within the Order 4. We don't know. So we'll see what happens from there. Casey Navarro, of course, went into the ring. He wanted answers from Nick Menes, like what was it that I did wrong and all that. I didn't do. And of course, Nick Menes was telling him that you weren't even ready for that, like to step up to his game. And then of course Ryan attacked him from behind, but Menes told him that to steer clear from his family. So basically, that was the whole thing. I'm sure Casey Navarro will get his payback against the Menes brothers, one way or the other, but we'll see. Now, our main event, of course, is the TNA Knockouts title in a no disqualification match. Yingling Lee versus Zaya Brookside. But you can tell they use all sorts of weapons in this type of match. I mean, whatever you can find. Chairs, tables, ladders, whatever it hurts to bring you pain. But in the end, Zaya Brookside used the chair to block a punch from Zaya Brookside, then use that same chair to apply Dark Star. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. She won the match, retaining the championship. So we'll see what happens down the road for the TNA Knockouts title in the upcoming pay-per-view at some point. But we'll leave things as it is and end our episode with some news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. So let's begin with upcoming events. We have GCW updates for all of you. As you know, we got the 11th, which is this Saturday, for, of course, the 11th for the Hartford, Connecticut. You Only Die Once. Charles Mason will take on Jimmy Lloyd. That's going to be a bloodthirsty match. Now, as you know, we have the match events from Denver. Mind Your Business. They'll happen on the 11th of September, which of course, ironically, is a well-recognized date. They announced who will be participating. We have Shotzi Blackheart, Bear Bronze, Mr. Danger, Dr. Redacted, and Acticus Cogar. And then, of course, the following day, they head to LA, of course, for No Signal in the Hills on the 12th of September, which I mentioned recently. Now names have been mentioned: Acticus Cogar, Buster and the Brain, Tombstone Jesus, and Bear Bronson. Now, Filipino promotion Dexcon, as you know, have a very interesting event called Jam of the Yoshis 2. It'll take place on the 18th of January. 2 matches have been announced. The Dexcon Women's World Champion named Joya will defend her title against the Big Apple Mei Shruga. And then another match was mentioned. The Asian Dream Tag Team Champions Sayaka and Chi will be in a match against Crystal and Tokiko Kara in a non-title match, in case anybody asks. And then we have, of course, Jersey Championship Wrestling in our house on the 26th of July. Kylie Alexa will take on Griffin McCoy. And then finally, of course, Kitsune Women's Wrestling for the Hollywood event that takes place on the 31st of August. They announced Gabby Forza will be there, and they're calling it Gnome Goes to Hollywood. So that's going to be a very interesting event. Now, on to some developments. Karen Jarrett spoke about Tony Khan, about how people were saying negative things about him. And this is what she said. She was on his defense. That man gets so much shit online that he don't deserve. He is one of the kindest human beings that I have ever met. So yeah, people like to say stuff about Tony Khan, all this, but of course those who know him personally or met him or actually work with him know the kind of person he is. And Karen Jed is one of those people that can say he is not exactly what people think, but he deserves all the credit for being an amazing person. Daria Rae, Fightful Select, reports that she re-signed with TNA, so that's good news right there. Queen Aminata on her YouTube channel mentioned that her contract with AEW will expire in February of 2026. The reason is, if she mentioned this, is because if you all remember, she was out on injury. Because of the injury, that kind of added the whole thing. That's why. Now, I don't know about what you guys would think. I know people have talked about this before, but Penta mentioned that he likes to have WWE to bring back the six-sided ring. Now, we know that TNA has been well known for that in the past, and I know AAA has used that too in the past as well, but he wants to bring this belt. Now, this thing, but I think fans are saying when they hear this, saying, you know what, maybe you should make this just for Penta. That's pretty much it, but we'll see. Now, it seems that WWE had no interest in Jack Perry whatsoever, so there was no initiative to have any interest towards him. So I think some people might have thought when his contract was up that they thought he will be making the move, but no, it seems like it was not. So that's pretty much what we do know. So that's pretty much it for all of our news updates and everything else. So let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, I haven't decided yet, but I am considering to catch up with Stardom with the last 3 shows that happened during the 4th of July weekend and also on the 8th of July. So I might consider doing that. So we'll see what happens from there. But for right now, that's my initial thought. But we'll just have to wait and see. I'm still working on, of course, the getting my notes ready for the upcoming BWZ discussion about Los Perros del Mar. And we'll see how things go from there. But for right now, we'll leave things as it is, and I'll see you the next time. So I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang!